Ooh, ooh. All right, big fish shit. So I was having a couple conversations this morning. One with my guy, Pete the Noble. The other with my guy, Eric Turk. Both exceptional doctors in Jersey and New York. And we were talking about how important it is to effectively communicate to your audience, whether your audience is consumers, customers, whoever it is, whatever you're trying to whoever you're trying to communicate to, that's your audience. So how do I make sure that the messaging that I'm trying to get across, whether it represents my brand, marketing, whatever I'm trying to get across, how do I make sure that they're receiving it in a way that it was intended by me? First thing is to get to know your audience. And hopefully I'm lucky because they're in that particular audience. They represent that audience that I'm trying to reach out to. So for me, I just sent it out to a couple of my guys and they gave me back their feedback. And in both cases, they gave me insight that I did not think of. You know, how somebody in their position would receive the messaging that I was getting across. And in both cases, they told me how important it was for their audience, you know, their colleagues. They need to receive things that are straightforward, direct, clear, concise, all of these things. And really, that's any audience. You know, you want to make sure that whatever you're getting across, it is very clear cut. There's no gray area. Like, this is what I'm trying to get across to you, because you're more likely to have your brand and your messaging represented in the way that it's intended to if it is clear, if it gets rid of all the fluff. So therefore, we talked about effective communication, and of course I related it to sports because that's what I always do. And it's like, say we're playing defense. I take it back to college, and I'm playing safety. I got, Dub, or I got DC playing corner, and the call is for, man-to-man defense. So we're playing man. They know they got help over top, in the middle, deep middle, but they pretty much got to man up on their own for everything else. So how do I communicate now to them? Because we made an audible, we switched it up based on, the defense. We want to change up our play. So it was communicated by my other safety, either Rob or Money. They communicated to me and said, like, yo, we're going cover two. We're going cover two. So now they communicated in one way for me, where our communication is boom. I know we're in cover two. I can see them. But Dub and DC, they're locked in on their man. So how do I now effectively communicate with them to make sure that they understand exactly, the defense that we're changing to? So I may have to communicate that in a different way, but I want to make sure that I'm communicating as effective as possible. The play clock's running. We know the offense is about to snap the ball. You don't have all the time for everything. So therefore, it's like, I need to be as clear and concise. We need to have developed a simple something, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. And that effective, clear communication is important in all areas, whether you're effectively communicating with an audience, in my case, but, I still consider my audience as, my partners and what I'm trying to grow, or communicate effectively with a teammate, to make sure that, we get off the field on third down. So these are the same things. And it just, sometimes you got to remind yourself, like, what exactly are you trying to get across? Figure out how you want to get it across. Figure out who's your audience. I may be able to communicate with my safeties a little bit different than I communicate with my corner, because we're in different positions. So therefore, we need to be aware of that and effectively communicate in the best way to be effective. So therefore, that's my little takeaway. That was my little story for the day. Shout out my guys, Dr. Pete the Noble, Dr. Eric Turk. I'm really, appreciative of the fact that I have them, because you want to always test out the market. You want to test out your audience. So therefore, what better testers to have than people that are going to give you genuine feedback? So I appreciate my guys. Big fish. Shit of the day is probably just be clear and concise in whatever you're effective, in whatever communication you're having. And to make it as effective as possible, you need to understand who you're communicating with. All right? Big fish shit. Get to the bag today. With integrity, of course.